Finally worked. I've been trying and trying to get this thing to go, and I don't know why it didn't want to go. I thought I'd take you back to my dungeon room that I've been working on something. How are your challenges going? Finishing anything? Well, let's see. You can see my junky room here. I have been working on putting all of my kids that I had 4 missionaries out, 3 at one time, and I got overwhelmed with all the emails and everything, and I I just left them there until I had like 8,000 emails. My husband said, "We're shutting this down, so I got to get them off, and the pictures and everything." And it's been really therapeutic, but I haven't done anything. I've let them fend for themselves on eating, and so I get everything caught up, and I finally made it through every missionary and got them home their letters. But it brought back a lot of good memories, and that was, I don't know why I didn't think about doing that before. Anyway, wonder what you guys are up to. You can comment down below and let me know. I did say I kind of watched that last video. I say I love the scriptures. Oh, I love this one. Because I really do love the scriptures. And I want you to know that I hope that you are reading these lessons and feel the love. Let's talk about Mosiah 7 through 10 now. And this is kind of let you a little bit. There are people up in Zarahemla wonder where Zenith and all his people went, what happened to them. They're wondering, where'd they go? And so he said, well, let's go find out. And he let Ammon, this is Ammon 1, not Ammon 2, that we're going to learn later on, that, the arms and all that kind of stuff. This is Ammon, that verse Ammon. And he says, you may pick 16 strong people. So I want you to think right now, if you could pick 16 people, who would they be? You think about your friend, but you got to think, these are people that are going to be with you. I don't know how long and what's going to happen. If I were to survive and go on a survival trek, what are the 16 people I would take with me? So stop the video, write down those 16 people in your journal right now. All right, welcome back. So now you've got your 16 people, and now I want you to take either a backpack or a basket or something, and you have to fit everything in there that's going to help you survive. And they were wondering for 40 days. Isn't that interesting? Everything is 40 days. Christ fasted for 40 days. The flood was 40 days. There are 40 years. 40 seems to be a big number. But if you had to survive that long, what would you put in your basket? Think about all the things. Okay, stop the video again. Make a list, because we would have done that. We would have filled our baskets with what we thought would be the most important thing. Okay, now you're back. So the story of Ammon, there's a lot going on here, and they keep flipping back and forth and everything. And so I have a map that I can email if you want the email to you. Let me know your email. It's a free map that somebody has made of where each people, where they were at what time. So kind of keep this better straight. All right. So what did you put in your basket? If you think about, missionaries have to pack and take, and then they get to their country and they say, oh, I wish I'd brought this, and then they get packages, but you would not be able to get packages. So what would be in there? Okay. So they arrive at these people, and at first they're kind of mean. They're afraid they're going to get killed. But Limhi, he says, I want to find out, what are you here for? And then when he told him, he was just relieved. He said, oh, I think it's chapter 7, verse 15 through 33. He talks about it would be better to be slaves to the Nephites than Lamanites. They would rather be a slave to them than how they're in bondage right now. And they got into bondage because they made wrong choices. Isn't that interesting that the cycle continues? So in verse 19, they had learned to trust in God. They are in bondage because of the iniquity and the grievous of their past ancestors, and they became like a stumbling block. So if you promise and put your trust in the Lord, He's going to take care of you. Think about it right now. Remember that shirt I had on last week? Faith over fear. You learn to trust in God. Let's go into chapter 8, and this is in verses 1 through 3. There's a big gathering going on. So Ammon spoke to them, and they brought out these plates, and they said, it's what's on these plates. And this is another people that was off into another area there, which are called the Jaredites. And so there's a little bit of all these different groups you got to keep track of. That's why that map would be really good. I wished we could be meeting live, then I would show it to you. Then he goes on to say, Ammon, we don't know this language. And Ammon says, I can't translate, but I know someone that can. And who do you think he said? Right. It's the prophet. So he talks about in chapter 8, verses 13 through 16, about the prophet being a seer and a revelator. And the definition is given right there. It's a gift from God provided to us. Look at the things that have been happening right now. How many of us are following the prophets and listening to him? It is definitely. And how about Joseph Smith? Definitely a seer and a revelator. Who could have translated that Book of Mormon in that short of time? There is no way. So on verse 9 of chapter 8, we see that they've set a goal. And he says, we're slow to remember the Lord. We've got to get ourselves going. This is the same God. When we're good as we're bad, it's the same God. You think about this pandemic that's going on right now. Don't dwell on the negative. There's a lot of good things let's talk about some of the good things. Mention some of the good things. Yes, you and you and you. Can you think of some things? I'll tell you a few things that I've thought of. I love it that people are home more. I love it that people are playing games and being creative and doing things together. I love it that they've bonded. They've become very ingenious about things that they're choosing to do. So if you think about that, think of the positive things that are happening. In chapter 10, verses 4 and 5, there's a great organization of workers going on here. That's really cool. But I'd like to dwell a little bit more when Zeniff prepares for battle, about verses 9 through 11. He goes on to talk about 11 through 18. This is chapter 10, why the Lamanites are who they are. Why do you think they are? Okay, I want you to stop the video and read that chapter right now. Chapter 10, verses 11 through 18. All right, you're back. Woohoo. Okay, verse 19. They learned that they need to trust in the Lord because they are who they are because of their ancestors. Someone got his feelings hurt. Someone went off on this way. Someone broke a commandment there. And they never got back. And so the kids started doing it. And it became where they fell into iniquity. They didn't know any better because that's what their parents had done. That's why it's very important that we become those parents that guide and teach our children. How do you want to be described when you become a parent and the ancestor later on? Do you want to be the one that fell away from the church because you didn't get, you didn't get your second meal at some activity or something like that? Think about it. There's analogy why we fall away. We need help and someone's reaching out for us and we don't take their hand. That someone is often followed by a prompting. In the Indian tribes, they have one of their members that is called the hope giver. And he gives hope. He goes around giving hope to those groups. And I look at that as someone that's ministering to this family or that family, that they give you hope. They give you a helping hand and that you take that. Then we go on to verses 14 through 33, and that speaks about being delivered. Now, if you think about the record here and the posterity, have you ever been delivered by the Lord sometime? Remember we talked about the tender mercies at the very beginning. Watch for the tender mercies. Have you ever been delivered? There's many times the Lord has delivered me. Secondly, I want to ask you, have you ever spoke boldly about a prophet living today and preparing us? I think we have to get bolder and we have to tell people, if you look at what the prophet told us last conference and what we know now and last October and then what we know now, definitely a prophet of the Lord. So speak boldly of them. All right, so I want to share with you a little activity I set up here. How many of you played dominoes? Now you get to see my junkie room. Sorry about that. So dominoes are kind of fun. Can you see my dominoes I have set up here? I made a heart. Can you tell I made a heart? So what's going to happen if I push one of those? And I'd like you to be clever and see if you can come up with some different ways to set up different designs. So in a domino effect, this is what happens. Oh, it stopped there. So someone broke a commandment. All those people fell. This person decided to start keeping the commandments. He starts keeping the commandments, and those people do good. Someone else falls away. So it's like the domino effect. Everyone falls in line. Think about that when you're setting up your own family someday and how you want to be known. Think I covered everything. I would just like you to make sure that your choices, you think about your choices that you make today will influence generations. And sometimes you say, well, I made my bed, I have to lie in it too. Look up that detail if you don't know what that means. So sometimes you think, I committed all this. I can't get out of it. I'm stuck, whatever. No, you can change. And there's people here to help you. We are hope givers. We can help you. So for the next set of scriptures coming up, we're going to learn about Abinadi. Now you got to read on those because it is exciting. It's like a movie. How there's so many colorful words that explain how he is a bold prophet at that time. Anyway, I miss you guys. Love you guys. We'll be back together soon. I feel it's coming to the end. I keep saying that, but I'm getting ready. I'm going to make you some lemon bars. How about that? Somebody gave me a whole bunch of lemons, so I'm going to do that. Take care and be healthy and follow your parents. Love your parents. Help them be good parents. Hi.